Namaste friends and my dear students. Myself Dr. Rushwa once again in front of you people with another e-learning practical session on pharmacovigilance. As we all know, Om is a sacred sound and a spiritual symbol in Indian religion. Chanting of the Om mantra purifies the environment around us and creates positive vibrations. So let us start our practical session with this positive vibrations. Let us start with an overview of this practical, introductory part and few definitions like adverse drug reaction, adverse event, or when to consider adverse event as a serious. Next is pharmacovigilance, then pharmacovigilance program of India, reporting of adverse drug reaction that includes who can report, what to report, whom to report and how. And at last, practical exercises, various questions and how to fill adverse drug reaction form. So, first definition is of adverse drug reaction. It is a response to a drug which is noxious and unintended, which occurs at doses normally used in men for prophylaxis, diagnosis or treatment of disease or for modification of physiological function. This definition of adverse drug reaction is as per WHO. Another definition, that is of adverse event. It is any untoward medical occurrence that may present during treatment but does not have necessarily causal relationship with this treatment. This is the difference between adverse drug reaction and adverse event. Now, when adverse event or reaction is considered as a serious, when any untoward medical occurrence that at any dose, if it results in death or it leads to inpatient hospitalization or prolongation of existing hospitalization, or if it results in significant disability, or if it is life-threatening or it is associated with congenital anomalies in fetus. Various types of adverse drug reactions. It is categorized into A to F. A stands for augmented, that is dose related. It is predictable, associated with pharmacological action of drug, and it is the most common type of adverse drug reaction. B stands for bizarre, non-dose related, not that much common and associated with high mortality. C stands for continuous, D for delayed, E for end of dose, and F for failure. These are various types of adverse drug reactions. This is one of the question of journal work. At that time we will discuss in detail. Very nicely said by Sir William Osler. The person who takes medicine must recover twice, once from the disease and once from the medicine. Means no medicine is 100% safe for all people in all circumstances. Absence of evidence does not mean an evidence of absence. Pharmacovigilance. Now what is the meaning of pharmacovigilance? Pharmakon, a Greek word which means drug, and vigilare, a Latin word which means to keep watch. Definition of pharmacovigilance: the science and activities related to detection, assessment, understanding and prevention of adverse effect or any drug related problem. Means main concern is with safety. History of pharmacovigilance begins with thalidomide disaster. When first released, this drug was used for anxiety, trouble sleeping, in morning sickness, etc. While initially deemed to be safe in pregnancy, concerns regarding birth defects were noted in 1961 and drug was removed from the market in Europe that year. It was biggest man-made medical disaster ever, with over 10,000 children born with severe deformities like phacomelia and thousands of miscarriages. This thalidomide disaster led to development of greater drug regulation and drug safety monitoring in many countries. Pre-marketing clinical trial limitations, or why there is a need to have pharmacovigilance. Because rare but serious adverse drug reactions we cannot obtain during the clinical trial. Long-term adverse drug reactions usually we do not get during the clinical trials. Special population like pediatric, geriatric, pregnancy, lactation are usually excluded from clinical trial. Drug interactions we are not going to get in clinical trials. Clinical trial is conducted on limited number of the patients for limited duration and in controlled condition. Due to this all limitations, we need to have post-marketing safety monitoring. Here you can see list of various drugs. Due to significant adverse drug reactions, they are withdrawn from the market. Examples: thalidomide, estamizole, phenylpropanolomine, cerivastatin, rofecoxib, valdecoxib, tegaserod, analgin, nimesulide in pediatrics, quinidochlor, antidiarrheal, etc. Now, Pharmacovigilance Program of India. It was relaunched in July 2010 by CDSCO, Central Drug Standard Control Organization, under aegis of MOHFW, that is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Let us discuss governance structure of Pharmacovigilance Program of India. At baseline, various Adverse Drug Reaction Monitoring Centers AMCs work. MCI approved medical colleges and hospitals, private hospitals, public health programs, autonomous institutes are approved as EDR monitoring centers. They collect adverse drug reactions, analyze and report it to higher center via VGFlow software. Role of zonal and subzonal centers. They provide financial and administrative support to various ADR monitoring centers and report to CDSCO headquarters. Next is NCC-IPC, National Pharmacovigilance Program Coordinating Center, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission is located at Ghaziabad, UP. Its role is to develop standard operating guidelines, guidance document and training manual, to do causality assessment and reporting to CDSCO. It has two committees to advise on technical issues. First is Steering Committee and second is Strategic Advisory Committee, under which 3 expert panels are working. Next is Main Headquarters, Central Drug Standard Control Organization under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, that is located at New Delhi. It takes opinion of NCC before making any regulatory decisions and it does teamwork along with WHO UMC. And last is WHO UMC Uppsala Monitoring Center, that is located at Sweden, is the topmost health regulatory authority in the world, and it frames guidelines and provides technical support to this pharmacovigilance program of India. Now various programs under PVPI. First is vaccine pharmacovigilance. It is detection, assessment, understanding and prevention of adverse effect following immunization and other vaccine or immunization related issues. That comes under biological division of CDSCO. Here you will have to fill form AEFI, adverse event following immunization form. Another is Hemovigilance Program of India, that was launched in 2012. As name suggests, hemo means it is related to blood. To track adverse drug reactions due to blood and blood related products. Here you will have to fill TRRF, transfusion reaction reporting form, and it comes under National Institute of Biologicals in place of NCC. Another is Materiovigilance Program of India MVPI, that was launched in 2015. It is to monitor medical device like pacemaker, neurostimulator or joint prosthesis associated adverse event, and to monitor benefit risk profile of these medical devices. Here you will have to fill MDAE, Medical Device Adverse Event Reporting form. Next is Cosmetovigilance. It was launched in 2017. As name suggests, it is monitoring of cosmetics in terms of human health. Aim is to detect adverse event of this cosmetic products and to prevent adverse effect by taking appropriate measures. PVPI has collaboration with RNTCP, National AIDS Control Organization, Universal Immunization Program and deworming programs also. Next topic is regarding reporting of adverse drug reaction. Who can report? Any healthcare professional, all doctors, nurses, pharmacists may report suspected adverse drug events. A person who is not a healthcare professional, mean lay member of public, can also report by filling up layman consumer form. It is available in variety of languages. It is blue colored form. What to report? All suspected drug-related adverse events, including those suspected to have been caused by herbal, traditional or alternative remedies. Our medical college is one of the ADR monitoring center, and a list of nationwide various ADR monitoring centers you can get from this link. Whom to report? Duly filled suspected adverse drug reaction reporting form should be sent to nearest peripheral ADR monitoring center, or directly you can send to NCC. How to report? You can call on this toll-free helpline number. You can directly mail to this email ID, or you can do SMS. One ADR mobile application is also there, that is ADR PVPI. You can also report by this application. So what is our role? To send quality reports by filling up the form appropriately, assess causality by using Narengio or WHO causality assessment scales, and to upload adverse drug reaction in Vigiflow and send it for further assessment. If it is accepted, means it is appropriate, and if query comes, then it is sent back to center. I would like to share one case that we reported, that is letrozole induced congenital anomalies in fetus. What is letrozole? It is an aromatase inhibitor mainly approved as first-line treatment for cancer of breast in postmenopausal women. In 2007, DCGI, Drug Controller General of India, gave an approval of this drug for anovulatory infertility. But later this drug was banned from India for the same indication in 2011 due to congenital anomalies. Ideally, for anovulatory infertility, letrozole is prescribed as 2.5 mg tablet for 5 days for 3 cycles. But in this case, patient did not give history of previous treatment in private setup, and due to that patient was exposed to 9 cycles of letrozole treatment. Here you can see consequences of this in baby. This baby was born with congenital anomalies. This is the front side photo. You can see anencephaly, cervical vertebral fusion and left lower leg deformity. Back side photo shows anencephaly, spina bifida and left lower limb deformity. Now let us proceed to journal work. Question number 1. Which are the adverse drug reactions that are considered serious? When should they be reported? As we have already discussed, as per Schedule Y, serious adverse event is untoward medical occurrence during clinical trial that is associated with either of death of patient, inpatient hospitalization or prolongation of hospitalization, if it leads to persistent or significant disability, if it is associated with congenital anomaly or birth defect or life-threatening, or it leads to an intervention to prevent permanent damage. When it should be reported? As per New Drugs and Clinical Trial Rules 2019, all serious adverse events should be reported within 24 hours of occurrence by principal investigator to licensing authority, sponsor and ethics committee. And detailed report of serious adverse event after due analysis should be forwarded within 7 calendar days of occurrence to higher authority. Question number 2. Where is the WHO Collaborating Center for International Drug Monitoring situated? As we have discussed in Governance Structure of Pharmacovigilance Program of India, WHO Collaborating Center, Uppsala Monitoring Center is located at Sweden. Question number 3. Why is adverse drug reaction monitoring required, or why there is a need to have pharmacovigilance? Answer. As per previous talk regarding this topic, toxicity studies in animal do not always predictive of human safety. Conditions of the use of drugs in clinical trial may differ from actual clinical practice. In clinical trials, information collected may be incomplete. Why? Because it is conducted on limited number of the patients, it is conducted over limited duration in controlled condition, and special population like pregnancy, lactation, geriatric, pediatric are usually excluded from clinical trial. Long-term adverse drug reaction or rare adverse drug reactions or drug-drug interaction in detail we do not obtain through this clinical trial. So, many areas surface up after the drug is permitted for marketing, and due to that there is a need to have ADR monitoring. Question number 4. Mention various types of adverse drug reaction. Answer number 4. Various types of adverse drug reactions are categorized in A to F. First is A, augmented or dose related or quantitative adverse drug reactions. Now, common features. This type of adverse drug reactions are very common, that is related to pharmacological action of drug, predictable and associated with low mortality. Examples: anticholinergic effect of antidepressants like TCA tricyclical antidepressants, digoxin toxicity, hypoglycemia due to insulin, hepatic necrosis due to paracetamol. These are various examples. How this type of adverse drug reaction can be avoided. Type A reactions you can avoid by decreasing dose or withhold drug, or consider modifying concomitant treatment. Next is type B, non-dose related or bizarre type of reaction or qualitative adverse drug reaction. This type of ADRs are uncommon, unpredictable, idiosyncratic or allergic, not related to pharmacological action of drug, and important, it is associated with higher rate of mortality. Examples: penicillin hypersensitivity, malignant hyperthermia with halothane, and drug-induced rashes. How to avoid this type of adverse drug reactions? This type of reactions are unpredictable, so difficult to avoid or prevent, but history of patient can be elicited for any drug allergy in past or some allergic diseases like asthma. So withhold drug and avoid its administration in future. Next is C type, continuous, that is due to long-term use of drug. Examples: analgesic nephropathy, tardive dyskinesia due to neuroleptics. How to avoid? Avoid indiscriminate long-term use of this type of drug. Next is D, delayed type of adverse drug reaction, that is due to long time after stopping of drug. Examples: teratogenesis, carcinogenesis. Here you can avoid it by using drug cautiously. Next is E, end of dose type of adverse drug reaction, that is due to abrupt discontinuation of drug. Examples: rebound hypertension after sudden stoppage of beta blocker, or clonidine withdrawal, or delirium tremens on alcohol withdrawal. These are various examples. How can you avoid? Avoid sudden stoppage of drug and educate patient regarding this. Last is F type, that is failure. It is due to concomitant medications like drug with enzyme inducer or in low dose. Example: rifampicin, enzyme inducer along with OC pill. Here you can choose appropriate concomitant drug or increase or decrease dose. Question number 5. How can adverse drug reactions be avoided? That we have already discussed, along with various types of adverse drug reaction, how they can be avoided. But in general, first, use medicine rationally. Rule of right that we must follow for antibiotics: right medicine in right manner means dose, route, frequency, duration should be appropriate in right patient at right cost. Second, avoid drug in future. If past history of allergy to particular drug, patient is given alert card. Prescribe the medicine by keeping in mind age of patient, various drug-drug interactions, various disease states like hepatic renal insufficiency is there or not, various genetic conditions like G6PD deficiency, here you cannot prescribe Primaquine. Special conditions like pregnancy, lactation, you will have to keep in mind. You can add here You will have to adapt correct drug administration technique like intravenous injection of vancomycin must be slow, or carry out appropriate laboratory monitoring, for example prothrombin time in case of warfarin administration. Next exercise is regarding how to fill the suspected adverse drug reaction reporting form. Here we have 4 cases. Case 1 we will discuss in detail. Remaining cases 2, 3 and 4 you solve by yourselves. Answers of case 2, 3 and 4 are given in the next slides. Case 1. OPD registration number is mentioned, unit is mentioned, age 55 years, name of patient PQR, gender female, weight is 70 kg, address is given and contact number, means details of patient is given. Now complaint. Patient complains of intermittent mild grade fever without any chills and rigor for last 3 days. She also complains of productive cough and yellowish sputum. There were no similar events in past. On physical examination, vital and systemic examination are within normal limits, except temperature was 38 degrees Celsius. On respiratory system examination, throat congestion was found. Lab investigation, no abnormality detected. Provisional and final diagnosis here is upper respiratory tract infection. Now details regarding drug treatment is also given. 2 drugs, tablet cotrimoxazole and tablet ibuprofen were prescribed. Dose, frequency, route, therapy dates, manufacturer detail, batch number, expiry date, everything is mentioned in this case. Salt water gargles for 5 days were prescribed. On 18th of April 2007, patient complains of rash and itching all over the body. Rash is maculopapular. She was asked to stop tablet cotrimoxazole and prescribed azithromycin 500 mg once a day for 3 days. She was also prescribed tablet cetirizine 10 mg once a day for 5 days and advised follow-up after 1 week. On 25th of April 2007, patient was better, rashes disappeared and no other complaints. Means culprit drug here for producing adverse drug reaction is tablet cotrimoxazole. So, in the suspected adverse drug reaction reporting form, important details, just note it down. Patient details, then suspected adverse drug reaction detail, then details regarding prescribed medicines and concomitant medications, diagnosis, and last, patient was recovered or under recovering phase or not recovered, etc. So this is case 1. This form is divided into 4 parts: A, B, C and D. A includes patient information like patient initials, age, gender, weight. B part includes detail on suspected adverse drug reaction like date of reaction started, date of recovery, describe reaction. If any of this is not mentioned in your case, then you will have to write it is not available or not mentioned. In C part, details on suspected medications like name of culprit drug, manufacturer detail, batch number, expiry date, dose, route, frequency, for which indication it was prescribed and causality assessment. Which action you have taken, drug was withdrawn, dose decrease, increase, etc. What was the reaction after drug was reintroduced, concomitant medicines and additional information, data regarding laboratory details or relevant test, significant past history, seriousness of reaction and outcome. This is under C part. In D part, reporter details you will have to mention like name and address of person who is reporting, occupation, signature and date of this report. So we will discuss case 1. In A part, patient information, patient initials PQR, age at time of event 55 years, gender female, weight 70 kg. In second part of suspected adverse drug reaction, date of reaction started and date of recovery mentioned here. Describe reaction. Patient presented with complaint of rash and itching all over the body on next day of starting treatment. In part C, you will have to describe suspected medications. In point number 8, you will have to narrate details regarding culprit medicine. Name of drug is tablet cotrimoxazole. Manufacturing detail Cipla. Batch number not known. Expiry date, here date is not mentioned but July 2010. Dose used 800 mg. Route oral. Frequency 2 tablet of 400 mg 2 times a day. Therapy dates are mentioned here. Reason for use of this drug is upper respiratory tract infection. In point number 9, this is older version. In latest version 1.3, there is a little bit change in title of this point 9. Action taken means drug withdrawn, dose increased, dose decreased, no change, unknown. Here you will have to take in drug withdrawn column. Point number 10, reaction reappeared after reintroduction. Here you will have to take in unknown. NOP applicable portion is removed from latest version. Point number 11, concomitant medical product including self-medication and herbal remedies with therapy dates. Exclude those used to treat reaction. In latest version, it is converted in tabular form as in point number 8. Here you will have to write tablet ibuprofen 400 mg 3 times a day from 17th April 2007 to 26th April 2007. Tablet azithromycin 500 mg once a day from 18th of April 2007 to 20 April 2007. Here one extra point is added, that is regarding additional information. Initially, causality assessment was added in part D, but in latest version 1.3, it is now a part of C. Point number 8. As per causality assessment by WHO and Naranjo in case 1, answer is probable. Now point number 12. Relevant test and laboratory data with dates. It is not available in this case. Point number 13. Other relevant history including pre-existing medical conditions. It is not available. Point number 14. Regarding seriousness of reaction. Here it will come in other and that is non-serious. Point number 15 is regarding outcome. Here fatal, recovering, unknown, continuing, recovered and other. Our answer will be recovered. Last part is part D, reporter details. You will have to write here name and address of person who is reporting, PIN code, email ID, telephone number, occupation, doctor, signature and at the end date of this report. This is the way how to fill this form. This pharmacovigilance exercise will be asked in your practical exam from second term onwards. This will be of 6 marks. Out of 4 exercises, fixed dose combination, drug promotional literature, dose calculation, pharmacovigilance, you will have to choose randomly one exercise. If your exercise is of pharmacovigilance, along with exercise, you will be given one form that you will have to fill, and backside of form you will have to do causality assessment. Narranger causality assessment questionnaire will be in printed format on the backside of form. Now, how to do causality assessment? It is evaluation of the likelihood that a particular treatment is the cause of an observed adverse event. What we use are Naranjo and WHO causality assessment scales. First, Naranjo causality assessment scale. Here you will have to give answer of 10 questions. For case 1, question number 1, are there previous conclusive reports on this reaction? Yes. Second question, did the ADR appear after the suspected drug was administered? Yes. Did the adverse drug reaction improve when the drug was discontinued? Means it is D-challenge. Yes. Did the adverse drug reaction appear with re-challenge? Do not know. Are there alternative causes for the adverse drug reaction? No. Did the reaction appear when the placebo was given? Do not know. Was the drug detected in blood at toxic levels? Do not know. Was the reaction more severe when dose was increased or less severe when dose was decreased? Do not know. Did the patient have a similar reaction to similar medicine in previous exposure? Do not know. Last question, was the adverse drug reaction confirmed by any objective evidence? Yes. So if we calculate total score, then it is 7. Let us see, if score is more than 8, then it is certain. If it is 5 to 8, probable. If it is between 1 to 4, it is possible. 0 means doubtful. So answer of case 1 is probable as per Naranjo causality assessment. Next is WHO causality assessment scale. In this, you will have to see 4 criteria. First, temporal relationship. Second, other drugs or disease ruled out. Third, D-challenge, and fourth is re-challenge. Now, temporal relationship means how the time sequence of the event is related to drug administration. Second, other drugs or diseases are ruled out before claiming ADR is due to drug. Third, D-challenge, whether the event subsided on stopping the drug, and re-challenge, whether the event reappeared when the drug was administered again after a gap during which the event has subsided. So, if all 4 criteria are present, then your ADR is certain. If these 3 criteria are present, re-challenge is not there, then your answer is probable. If temporal relationship is there, drug as well as other causes could be responsible for the event, then it is possible. And drug unlikely to be the cause but cannot be ruled out, then it is unlikely. So answer of case 1 is probable. You read case 2, case 3 and case 4 thoroughly. Answers of these exercises are given in respective slides. Just for your information, this is the latest one, suspected adverse drug reaction reporting form for drugs in prophylaxis and treatment of COVID-19. Majority of the points of this form are similar to suspected adverse drug reaction reporting form version 1.3 what we routinely fill. Extra points are added in part A and C, like subject or patient category. If patient is female, then patient was pregnant or lactating or not. Then detailed medical or medication history, recent travel history, etc. Extra points are added. These are my references. I would like to share, every bad situation will have something positive. Even a dead clock shows correct time twice a day. Stay positive in life. God knows what is best for you. At present, world is in bad situation of COVID-19 pandemic. Be positive in life with hope. Very soon world will be out of this situation. Thank you.